What's up, everybody? This is a second from now. We just beat Bendy in the Dark Revival, guys. Now we going on into the archives. Let's go to these archives real quick. Let's see all these characters. I love this game so much. It was like, ooh, woohoo! What? Oh, that's how I exit. Oh, bet. The archives. Welcome to the archives. Bendy and the Dark Revival filled with numerous characters that each had a critical role to play in the progression of the game. Here in archives, you will learn a bit more about them in an up close and personal way. Feel free to explore. Ooh, Bendy. Oh, look. I'm so happy you get the 360 on this guy. Oh, it's so quiet in here. Bendy. Bendy, the iconic imp, was redesigned for Dark Revival to stand out a bit from his traditional cartoon appearance. By giving him a suit and clothes, he posed some. Did I say passed or posed? Hold up. Yeah, he posed some minor challenges, specifically creating a face that sported the classic Bendy eerie smile, but still managed to be heartwarming in the right conditions. He's a fan favorite, and so his design had to be just right during production. We originally envisioned Bendy to talk with a series of cute squeaks to contrast to the dark low voices of the ink demon, but this turned out to be very distracting, and the idea was scrapped pretty early on. Oh damn, he was gonna have a voice. Oh, I would have liked if he had a voice. That would have been like that. We obviously know what that is. Ooh, ink machine. Designed by Thomas Connor of the Gent Corporation, stolen by Joey Drew, retrieved by Archgate, and once again reclaimed by Gent, the ink machine. The next adventure is a mystery. Oh, I cannot wait. Wilson, cartoon. Wilson was a difficult character to balance at first. The players were purposely led to believe he's a one-note character, obviously evil with an over-the-top villain personality, but as the story progresses, we see other sides of the character, and the player becomes muddled with who this man really is. In one draft, Wilson was written as a servant of Nathan Ark Jr., a separate character at the time, but the story made for more sense when the two characters become one, eliminating a lot of needless narrative complexity. Audrey, cartoon. Audrey is a kind-hearted rogue with courage, determination, some flaws, and a deep, dark past. To make our story work, we needed a newcomer. The cartoon studio world, and Audrey was the perfect fresh eyes to help experience the new adventure. From day one of production, we knew that if people didn't connect with Audrey by the end of the game itself wouldn't be successful. Fortunately, she turned out to be quite memorable indeed, and stands out from the other members of the cast. Now here we come. The Ink Demon, Beast Bendy. That thing. Ooh, y'all are just. We didn't really have to. I mean, we were you, so we wouldn't really have to be scared of you. But you, there was times when you almost called me, bro, and I ain't let it happen. Not once did he catch me, y'all. Not once. As the world of Dark Revival became more complex and established, we realized the Ink Demon's design needed a complete rethink to match our new tone. Previous versions of his appearance looked absolutely silly when placed in the world alongside the other characters. No amount of creepy music or screen effects could conceal how out of place he looked. The Ink Demon needed to look different than everything else in the world, and show a natural progression of the Ink Demon's evolution as Wilson held the cycle in place. Returning for the climax of Dark Revival, Beast Bendy also was revisited with the mindset of making him more make, of making him more for far more powerful and beast-like. Traditionally, in most horror games, they tend to build to a point where the main villain becomes a final form monster as a final boss. It's practically a trope. A trope. Our idea. What if you got to play as the final form instead? That's what they did. Artist rest. Oh, you see back there? Joey Drew, Memory. The man, the legend, the memory. Playing this version of Joey was both an exciting and daunting process. It was clear from the start that this Joey would be different from the original Bendy and the Ink Machine game. This was a man with all the guilt from a past life, but without the experience to fully understand it. The real Joey Drew made many mistakes, but ultimately learned from them. This doesn't absolute absolve him of his sins, but at the end of his life, he was able to help correct some of them and help fight the darkness he created. Betty, a faithful maid among other things to Wilson. Betty was an important character to the story of Dark Revival. As a failed experiment and someone relatively new to the cartoon studio, she was able to give a somewhat different point of view on the state of the world. We have purposely left it unclear if Betty was in on Wilson's plot to harass Audrey or if she was just a bystander behind her mask. There are still answers to be found. I'm so sorry I didn't do your final mission. Is she back there? I kinda wanna know who's back there. Finally, I wanna see what you look like. That man Henry. Hey Henry. Henry look gone. Look at his eyes. He been through too much. I'm sorry. Look at his eyes. The original Psycho Breaker. Harry Stein is the ghost of a man who lost his purpose years ago, once fueled with finding a way to escape the tortures of the Ink Demon and finding his way home to his wife. Henry is now left with the cold reality, Jesus Christ, of being a recreation of the person he thought he was. Saved as a special surprise for fans, the Bendy and the Ink Machine game, Henry was strictly omitted from all public discussion of the character during the entire production, which spanned several years, but Henry returned with a very satisfying face reveal. Allison. Returning for another victory over the Ink Demon, Allison is always the voice of reason, a beacon of hope. Allison's design was carefully upgraded from the previous Bendy and Ink Machine game to maintain her personality, but with more fiddly the purpose, more fit, feisty, no fiddly. The purpose of meeting Allison so early in the campaign was to introduce the player to a familiar face. After the main introduction at the start, Allison was able to serve the motivating force for Audrey until the true plot kicked in later. Tom. Tom is Allison's silent protector and the only Boris clone involved with the main story. Where is Boris the wolf? Rumor has it, during the events of the game, Boris is experimenting a dark survival story himself. Oh! So Boris in the Dark Survival is a canon game. That's cool. Uh, they all got their own little. I don't want to go on this side. Why? Cause all the enemies. Oh look at that. Look at that. Grieving. Porter. The cycle was held in place, and with the influence of the ink demon held at bay, the cartoon world was able to grow and advance, creating such characters as Porter, a lost one who came to claim a new identity as an explorer. Porter was written with the knowledge that Dark Revival would feature a far more serious tone than the first game of Bendy Machine, and light and his lighthearted innocence would help the player feel some warmth in his inky world and in this inky world of sorrow. Heidi. It is believed that Heidi has spent some time in the pit, a prison set up by Wilson and the keepers. It's unclear why, but most likely she was able to access places she shouldn't have. The experience in the pit changed her as it does many, reverting her into a childlike state, longing for happiness again. Damn. Some of these characters didn't even deserve what they got. Oh! Oh! It's enemies. But I don't like that Carly right there. It's creeping me out. I was thinking, y'all. Oh, I can pause. Oh, that's even gayer. The keepers. Wilson's deadly guards and scientists, they aren't perfect, but the keepers will get the job done no matter the cast, no matter the cast cost, no matter the cost. They're responsible for pressing the demon inside a smaller form, keeping his power sealed away until Audrey came along and unknowingly changed the situation. The keepers were visually designed to reflect the dangers. Why did I stutter on the dangers and evils of the ink machine itself? Here, faceless being made of gears and wires with no sense of mortality, morally, fuck that word. Ordered around like cattle, a creation living without purpose. The Butcher Gang. Fucking hate all y'all. Like, is she watching me? Oh, I think she watching me, y'all. Oh, nah. She got... I don't like that. I don't like that. Charlie, Charlie, and Edgar, the three original members of the Butcher Gang, were formed from the ink machine. Deconstructed by Alice for body parts and bond together to stay alive. They sneak attack on their prey, and together in Dark Revival we meet a artificial fourth member of the gang, Carly, the ghost girl. Although when you begin to examine her closely, Carly appears to be a shell with perhaps someone inside. Oh. Oh, is it all the same? Oh. I gotta walk towards her. Hey, Carly. Oh, it's the same. Goodbye, Carly. I don't like none of those characters. Sammy Lawrence. The famous music composer of the studio, Sammy Lawrence, originally had a slightly larger role in the story of Dark Revival, but in a story already filled with so many characters, making them all play a meaningful part became a challenge. He was ultimately sidelined in favor of telling a more coherent storyline. Although it's interesting to note that Sammy Lawrence appears to have mastered the flow ability and bending the ink machine long before Porter and Audrey could wield it. He had the flow ability last game. Oh, Alice. Lord of Muck. Oh, that spider balls. The self-appointed queen of the studio, Alice Angel is one of the most memorable faces in the Bendy world. Forever lost in a tide of insanity, she is an absolute delight to write as a character, an angel with many layers. Time will only tell if this inky temperance will ever reappear. She always get killed. Ruler of the sewer cult of a sewer cult, Lord Amok illustrates how the world of the ink had continued to develop into different societies deep within the darkest places. Though he was weak in a fight, his name will simply never die. Oh, he's like out. King Widow, that's your name? Ink widows have begun to infest where the light grows darkest. Their king, it's the biggest and most feared, will only emerge from his nest when its young are threatened. Why couldn't he look like that? Ship ahoy, Dooley. The, the demented invention of Wilson created to serve the dual purpose of dethroning the ink demon in the cartoon world and also upstaging Joey Drew in the eyes of Wilson's father, Nathan Ark. Neither of these happens. Shippohoy Dooley is a mysterious sailor with his own eerie grin, similar to that of Bendy, along with his sidekick Crackle the Crab. It is unknown just what kind of cartoon adventures they would have had together. Oh, the face not in there no more. It's gone. I know y'all see the shadow though. Lurker, or or Steve, as he became to be known, was originally created as a brute type enemy that would free roam the way lost ones do, but ultimately felt unnecessary as the random ink demon encounters were already fulfilled the role of putting in the player on edge while exploring previous traverse locations. In the end, the lurker found a much better calling as an unlikely ally, effectively expanding him into more than just a typical enemy. Yeah, I know. We can all so even the creators agree that the encounters of just ink demon just randomly happening were a little too much. I'm kind of glad we can all agree on that. Nathan Arch Sr. Nathan Arch was everything Joey Drew wasn't. He worked hard, built up from nothing, and never compromised his integrity. Joey had big dreams, but Nathan accomplished his own dreams. He and his wife Tessa raised a son with as much love and care as they could. Despite Nathan's career pressures, sadly his son did not share Nathan's natural talent for business and enterprise. Oh yeah, we know. Audrey, the unknowing daughter of an animation pioneer, Audrey has blocked out the memory of her past after losing her father, but his role in her life was not over. A, talent, a talented animator and artist, her skills landed over a job at Archgate. Was it fate that led her to reunite with Joey Drew's machine, the machine of her birth, or was it planned? I'm not gonna lie, it might have been planned. Might have been planned, guys. Wilson, haunted by the impossible shadow of Nathan Arts, Wilson sought to achieve something that would make his father proud. By luck, he stumbled upon the ink machine and was able to become the cartoon world's new master. Holding the cycle in place, he continued his experiments that been could not fully be realized until the ink demon was purged. However, unnaturally entering to and from the ink realm has taken a toll on Wilson's physical being, slowly robbing him of his health. Is that why he was coughing at the beginning of the game? The illusion of living, obviously. Well, that was the archives. That was fun. That's the last time I'm ever gonna touch this game until a couple years from now, maybe 3 or 4. How long should it be till I revisit a game? Like 4 years, 3 at most, 3 or 4 years at most. Yeah, I say 3. Yeah, I say 3 or 4 years. Alright, anyways, I see you guys in another series. We also got God of War 3 videos that I gotta upload to. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.